Hello, 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 everyone. Okay, this is the awkward first 5 minutes of any stream, just making sure and establishing that you can hear me, you can see me, that yes, you are out there, not just talking to a blank camera in a dark room by myself. So I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. You're gonna enjoy. Yep, still sticking with this. We're still here with this. We are still continuing on drinking our way through the cores. There's about 15 of them left down there. I'm hosting a weekend here next weekend, conversion course weekend. I'm hoping a couple of the students will help me through these so I could actually showcase something decent. I don't drink this stuff in my day-to-day. I don't drink this stuff at all. It's there in the fridge. I'm too much of a cheapskate to not drink something that's not there. So you know the rules, you know the, I gotta stop saying that. You know the score, legends. Sound off, troops. Where are you from? Where are you listening to this in the world? And if you are joining me for a drink, what are you drinking? Could it be a coffee first thing in the morning? Or could it be something a little bit more exotic, maybe a Tia Maria? That'd be lovely, would it not? Okay, let's crack this open. All right, we've got at least one person here. Nice, 5 concurrent viewers. That lets me know there is at least somebody out there in the world watching this. Okay, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching this from. We'll answer some, some vital questions tonight because the Scouring project is starting to pop off in a major way. We have a Google Drive link to this where people are starting to plug in their own information. I guess what I want out of this live stream is to go through what the Scouring era is, because that caught me by surprise. Exactly, people don't really know what this is. I mean, they know the project. The project is a pretty simple, straightforward thing to talk about. It's collect a 1,500-point army between now and December, set in Horus Heresy 3.0. But we're firmly rooting the theme of this project in the Scouring era. And it surprised me a little bit. People say, oh, no, I haven't read the book yet. I don't want to get involved. Without, I guess, like the prior knowledge of the Scouring. Now, okay, I'm going to do this horrible thing I hate other content creators say or other hobbyists say. Back in my day. So I've been involved in this hobby since the 90s, at least, like 1995, I think I got involved in this. And this kind of knowledge I kind of picked up along the way, you know, when they released these kind of gaming supplements, when they released the rules. And we are going to be doing a little bit of deep diving into this stuff tonight as well as looking at some Assault Terminators. But it surprised me, I guess, like the lack of, I guess, foundational knowledge of the Scouring, you know, what the Scouring is, what this era is, how long it took. So I'll be briefly going over what I think the Scouring is, because we are getting a new set of books out about this stuff. Okay. Oh, not great. Okay, we are getting a new set of books about this stuff, which is expanding upon the universe. And the first book is phenomenal, but it's depressing to read. Let's put it that way. Okay, who else is out there? Netherlands, German apple soda. Nice. Okay, right. Okay, so what is this project? 1,500 points between now and the end of the year. If you're in the UK or if you want to fly in, I will be hosting an event at Warhammer World for every participant that manages to get together a 1,500 point army. But everyone who does complete this challenge will be sent a Lodge coin. We're getting a 3D artist to make one for us. Every single entrant who completes this will get a Lodge coin in December. We are firmly rooting this challenge in the Scouring era, and we'll be talking a little bit about what that is. And we'll also be talking about what kind of factions you can get involved in this. So we are placing this in 3.0 Horus Heresy. Do not feel like you have to be inhibited by that. Don't feel like you need to like stay there. If you're collecting 2nd edition, for example, go ahead, collect 2nd edition. If you don't like the 3rd edition rule set, don't collect it. This is just, I guess, like a springboard for your creativity to get involved in a really nice community that's helping encourage each other to get something collected by the end of the year. So how do you participate in this challenge? Well, good question. Type into Google Little Legend Scouring. The first post that should pop up is a Patreon post. Don't worry, you do not need to sign up at all. I don't ask for any information, no banking information. You don't need to pledge anything at all to participate in this challenge. On there's a PDF. I may as well show you this now. Okay, let's bring this up. Nope, that's not the right one. Okay, so this is the PDF, completely and utterly free to download. Again, you don't have to sign up. Click on it, download, yours forever. It goes through the text scroll of the new Scouring series. It talks about the challenge, what we hope to achieve with it, a little bit of artwork of Abaddon that is set in the Scouring era. And then we have right at the very end a score sheet. So there's quite a lot of information here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So we've scripted this right throughout the year, January through to December, to get your 1,500 points complete. Again, this is only a rough formulation for yourself if you want to move things around. So if you want to complete May's task in March, hell, do it. This is only gives us a loose structure. Once you've decided to jump on board, go to the Discord. Again, completely free to jump on there, completely and utterly free. And once you're in there, you'll be able to find a link to this Scouring era pledge page, and people are already starting to pop themselves in here. So we have unaligned, loyalist. Oh, that should change. That should be imperial, not loyalist. Loyalist, traitor, and unaligned. So for those people who like working in the grey area. For myself, I am pledging Flesh Tearers at 1,500 points. And in here I've even linked the list so other people can see what I'm up to. And I guess my oath of sacrifice for this challenge, like the big idea that I want to complete with this, the thing I'll have to grudgingly get through, the thing I'll really have to barrel my way through. I want to create custom shoulder pads for this project. I've had this idea for a few years. You know, there's a seed. I mean, I don't know who said this, but there's a book within all of us, right? And my book is written as a blood angel. That didn't quite work, but hell, I'm going to go with it. I love the idea that the Scouring is such a messy era in terms of not only like resupply, questioning where power exactly lies in this new Imperium, how it's formulated. I just love the idea that this rampaging set of blood angels, incensed from the death of their Primarch, is launched out into the universe. And you have to think that these guys, having a rampaging, vengeful force is phenomenal, great, but it's not so great if you're trying to rebuild an empire. Sometimes the better course of action would be compromise. Say you turn up to a Mechanicum Forge world, a linchpin of a sector, who was pledged to the traitor side, not through any ideological dint of themselves, but just simply because they got caught up on the wrong side of that line. They don't show any major divergence, and they're more than happy to be reincorporated back into the Imperium. Would somebody who has endured the siege see it the same way? Would they only be able to see in terms of black and white? Would this Blood Angel force descend on them with all the mania and fury and trauma that they've been through in the Siege of Terra, and just wipe them? Okay, yes, you've scoured that part of the galaxy of traitors, but you've also left it incredibly weak for traitors to come back in, alien forces to take them over, or other resurgent factions. So these are some of the ideas that I want to tackle in my own project with the Flesh Tearers. And I like the idea at this stage that the iconography hasn't really settled at this time. It's not like they leap directly from Terra into painting their armor a slightly different color, and their doctrines are all established because it's been established in the heresy. No. There's that time of irregularity, that time of soft change. Because when you see the traitors, for example, all of their major changes seem to happen in the heresy, leading up to the siege and beforehand. The Emperor's Children, for example, take a nosedive into insanity. The Death Guard very reluctantly get ensconced into the ways of Papa Nurgle. But it seems to be that the Loyalists or the Imperials see this change or have this change after the Siege of Terra. That's why it's such a compelling period of time to collect a 30k army or 40k army in this period. Because we are hosting this thing at Warhammer World, we are encouraging people who aren't, who intend to come, to try and use as many plastics as possible. There will be the odd 3D printed part in there, sure. Just try not make every single miniature 3D printed. Try and make it Games Workshop secure, so we don't have any. I just don't want any awkward conversations with the staff members and like removing miniatures. Okay, let's see what we are saying out there. I'm going to put up a very handsome picture. Okay, let's put this up. Picture of flesh terrors. No, let's leave this up. Actually, I could just go straight over to here. Okay, right, what are we saying out there in the universe? Right, Cambridgeshire, heresy in joy. We can't expect Imperials to do the right thing. Yeah, exactly. The Imperials are definitely not on the right side of history here. But I thought it might be fun just having a little look-see through some of the lists and some of the stuff people have been submitting so far, and see whether we can, because this comes with a really, okay, analyze this data, boom, this comes with a really handy AI tool. I know AI comes with its own issues, but it does. Okay, let's analyze allegiance, for example. Data extraction. Ooh. Okay. This. Oh no. This is doing. Okay. To hell with AI. It fails us yet again. Okay. So let's have a look at some of the factions involved. So we have Miles David, and for the Flesh Terrors, I've said unaligned, because I do need to change it from Loyalist and Traitor to Imperials and Traitor. A soft distinction, but a very vital one in this era, because the tenets on which the Crusade and the legions were founded may not necessarily be reflected in the actions of the Primarchs or going forward. Oh God, that's dreadful. I'll get through them though. I'm going to get through each and every one of them. Okay, Black Templars, Red Gloss, and there's a list. I'm sure he doesn't mind me having a little look-see at this. Okay, for this challenge as well, something I should add, we are encouraging as many people as possible to write their list from the Black Shield rule set. Is to represent the devolution of centralized authority. The Imperium is just simply unable to create these apocalyptic, galaxy-smashing... I can see there's a bend in my brush. Galaxy-smashing forces anymore. So to represent this, we are encouraging people, oh, it's so fizzy, to build a list from the Black Shields. So even if you're using, say, Ultramarines, for example, you can still make a list with the Black Shield rules, somewhat representing the Ultramarines. You can use proper full-on Legion forces, but we do ask to add a 10% tax onto any unit. So, for example, if a unit costs 5%. If a unit costs 100 points, it'll be 105 points in the end. This is just to represent the strained, I guess, the rarity of these kind of forces in this era. But all factions are welcome: Custodes, Knights, Solararchs, whatever. Okay, so we got Scouring Era Templars, High Command Praetor and Terminator armor. We've got Cataphractii Praetor, Vigil Pattern Storm Shield. Only in death. I wish I knew what these rules meant. Only in death does duty end, and Panoply of Old. Okay, that makes sense. So the Panoply of Old means you can take Legion War Gear, which makes sense. But I wonder what he's got. Vigil. It's probably the Vigil Pattern Storm Shield and Paragon Blade. Legion Champion, very Black Templar appropriate. Actually, a little tidbit of lore that I unearthed. When they first sculpted the Emperor's Champion, in the little lore snippet next to it, they said that Scouring Era armies often had a champion of some kind, which I thought was fun to read, because army champions or legion champions were very prevalent in the legions themselves, but even more so in Scouring pattern armies. So that's an interesting tidbit. But especially for the Black Templars. Okay, well, we've got Breacher Squad. We have a Legion Champion. Yeah, okay, Breacher Squad. How big is this squad? Looks about 10. 10? No, yeah, 10. The Spoiler Squad and a Tactical Squad. Okay, this brings me on to a really other neat point. So part of this challenge, we're encouraging people not to take doubles of anything. So once you pick a Despoiler Squad, you just get one of them. It's to encourage different army builds, and it's also there to show these legions, these troops can't take what they want anymore. So it's kind of like an artificial inhibitor on everyone. Okay, SCOURING, also a good choice. Apex line breaker echelon. Okay, heavy assault cataphracti. Okay, so Terminator Squad. Boom, big ass Terminator Squad coming down. Nice. Okay, so very front forward, very aggressive looking, very much what I'd expect from a Black Templar list. Here we have Iron Warriors, Dark Mechanicum. I really wish I was playing with this yesterday, and they came up with some really good stuff like analyzing. Data validation. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Pre-built tables, drop down. Oh well. What have we got? Iron Warriors, Dark Mechanicum, Solar Auxilia. Oh, Solar Auxilia. We have another list. Okay, Talon. Ooh, okay, I'm expecting a very tank-heavy list from this. High Command. Oh, no. Okay, so we have infantry, an infantry command squad, Valdor tank destroyer, Lehman. Ah, there we go. Lehman Russ. Can you take a command squad in a? Can you take a commander in a tank in this edition? Am I misreading it? Okay, if you can't and you want to take an all armored list, we'll find a way to do that. We'll make our own rules up. Lehman Russ. Oh, we've got a troop section. Oh, I guess outside of Talon, you would see it. And there are Talon people out there. Talon miniatures, Dracosian. Okay, really nice. Very armor heavy, as you'd expect from Talon, but a nice splash of infantry in there to keep the project engaging. Nice. Okay, Imperial Fists, the Uncounted. Counts as Iron Warriors. Okay, I'm looking forward to this. There's even a bit of lore here. Nice. Okay, I'm not going to read all through this. Let me bring this up so you can at least hear me. I'm not going to read through all this. Okay, what have we got? Iron Warriors, Scouring, version 2. I believe this player, he doesn't like 3.0. It's okay, he's using version 2. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. It's only really a springboard for your own creativity. Okay, so we have a veteran Centurion in Terminator armor, Combi Volkite with a chain fist. I like that. Okay, we have a veteran Breacher Squad. Love that. 9 Breachers, veteran Tactical Squad. Okay, so very veteran heavy. I like this. Contemptor Dreadnought, Contemptor. Oof. That is a nails list. And then we have another Breacher Squad, a Tactical Squad, and a Cataphracti Terminator Squad. Okay, I really like this. Okay, so this gets around the no doubles rule by including a veteran version of the Breachers, and then, what else do you have in there as a veteran? Veteran Tactical Squad. Okay, so that's a really nice way to get around that while still creating a little bit of flavor for your force. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so these are Iron Warriors. Yeah, Iron Warriors. Okay, Ben Robertson, Crimson Fists. This project I'm really looking forward to seeing because nothing screams Scouring or like version 3 of Warhammer 40k like Crimson Fists. I mean, the opening of the first page of Rogue Trader. Oh my God, yeah, so good. Viridian Consuls, okay. Now we get into some really, really deep second founding stuff. Okay, out there, if you're going to collect an army in the second founding, what would you do? Viridian Consuls. The Broken. Ooh, okay. I'm Let's have a look at these. The Viridian Consoles. They're a Chaos Space Marine warband, originally known as the Viridian Consoles. And they were among 30 chapters corrupted during the Abyssal Crusade. Nice. So the Abyssal Crusade, as far as I can remember, there was a war of faith in the Imperium, and the chapters that fell on the wrong side of that argument were sent into the Eye of Terror as penance. And much to the chagrin of the Imperium, most of those chapters turned renegade. And it turned out that the inceptor of this schism was an Alpha Legionnaire agent, I believe. So it worked out pretty well for them. Ooh, okay, this is going to be really interesting, because I don't really see that much information on them. Apart from them just being called the Broken. Okay, so this gives you lots of room to explore your own lore. Please paint them like this. That looks absolutely batshit crazy. Please paint them like that. Okay, Maurice, what's your problem, Maurice? And what's the idea behind this? That looks awesome. Okay, we have Trevor. I'm not going to pronounce that. You bastard! I'm not going to pronounce that. The Synod Reavers Black Shields. Okay, this project, he's one of my students. We've been talking about this project, how are we going to make it unique. That it's going to be the Oath of Moment, where you take several characters to make an army. So each one's going to be super individual. Okay, Johan Kohlberg, Demons Unaligned. Unaligned Demons. I thought that would be very much traitor. Maybe I should switch up these allegiances. Okay, Alex Robinson, Night Lords. Yes, love to see what you're going to do with that, Alex. Jake Elson, we got Raptors. Loyalist, of course. Oh, Robins. Now, this is a really special project. This is a Duraga Kal Eshmahak. And I know how to pronounce that from religiously listening to the Black Legion books over and over and over again. It means the grey after the fire, so it refers to ash. And this is led by Falcus Kyber. It's one of the strongest, most coherent Sons of Horus forces left after the disappearance of Abaddon. So it'll be interesting to see what that warband gets up to in the intervening period between the end of the Siege of Terror and when they meet up in the warp. Right, and it's also Secretary and allied force with them. Okay, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, Dan Dusek, Knight. I'll see you at Adepticon. Chris Taylor, Raven Guard. We have Beckley. Stalkers of Barbaros. Nice. Matt the Bag, 1981, Sons of Horus. And again, this is a project we've been talking about using the new Reaver sets, but putting Sons of Horus iconography, finding STL bits for them, plugging them on. That's going to be a stunning, stunning army by the end. And it's only 1,500 points. It's only 1,500 points, and we're encouraging people. A bit of ASMR. We're encouraging people to push their hobby skills a little bit more with this challenge, and I'm hoping to give a lot more feedback on the Discord from this. Just pointing out very common errors people make: color choice, application, and it's not about the flavor of the month painting technique. It's not about the sponge or the stipple or the dry brush. It's about honest to goodness core fundamental painting values that I use constantly throughout my work to produce army after army after army. So we're hopefully going to be able to impart a little bit of that vision into our students. Right, okay, Void Spiders. Ah, yes, real SNIS. SNIS. I know. I have a very good idea for a Praetor miniature for you in Saturnine armor. That's going to be an absolute I've just had the... Okay, sorry, this is going to be a little bit of an aside here, but I've had an idea for that Praetor. The power generators on the top, maybe we can make those spines, like human spines. There's an idea there. Okay, we'll explore that. Look at this. Cause coming in clutch. Okay, Tom S. Received Wisdom, Night Lords. Wow, Night Lords are very popular in this. Star Phantoms, Black Shields. Okay, so this is part of the great thing of the Scouring era. You'll hear Star Phantoms, and I will hear you cry, they are not a second founding chapter. Come on, say it. Say in the chat. I'm going to wait until somebody said they're not a second founding chapter. How do you know that? The iconography that they take, very, very, very heavily inspired by one of the, God, what the hell are they called? One of the Dark Angel wings. Not the sextet. Anyway, one of the wings, the Destroyer Company within that. And what we know about the second founding chapters at this time comes from a document called something like the document of SCOURING. I mean, what the hell is that? There's so many purges of information, of people, of systems at this time. The Imperium is convulsing in its own death throes as it's becoming this new thing. Information's getting shredded. Talk about unreliable narrator. This is the most unreliable of narrators. There's nothing to say that units like the Star Phantoms that have a very strong iconographer. I'm going to drink this and give another go at that. Has very strong echoes of iconography used by forces used in the Horus Heresy. Okay, that was a better sentence. There's nothing to say that they weren't already extinct in, like that word, extinct in the Imperium at this time, the Imperium at large. Nothing at all. So incredibly engaging project. Fred, Ashen Claws, boom, nice and easy. It's not one of those factions that really readily you think, second founding. So I think second founding. Let's see whether I can flick through this. Let's see if we can flick through this. Second founding. Is there a list of second founding chapters in here? Set off my Siri. Don't believe there is, unfortunately. That's a shame. It's probably somewhere in the appendix at the back. Evaluation of anomalous vessel. Ooh. What's this? During the Dark Age of Technology, STCs. We're talking about the Sensei in here? Oh, it's weirdly, a lot of good stuff in the back of this book. Yeah, Ashen Claws is not something that readily you think of as being something like that. Second founding. But some of the stories that we've heard since, I mean, especially in the Black Books, I believe there's book 6, The Harrowing of Nostromo. So we don't know what factions killed off fleeing elements of the Night Lords. It's heavily suspected it's Ashen Claws. And we get tidbits of information from the Outer Dark as well, how they trade with the Kakaradons. Incredibly engaging story, and it just strikes at the heart of the compromises the Imperium had to make at this stage to make themselves a viable entity in the universe. All right, let's have a look what you're saying. Right, okay. Right, loud and clear, good stuff. Okay, Cambridgeshire, can't expect Imperials. Okay, still decided on my composition. Okay, that's Hacks. What faction are you doing, Hacks? Okay, hey dude, really interested in this challenge. Just a quick question. I haven't played a war game since around 6th edition fantasy, so I'm feeling a touch overwhelmed by getting an army list written in time. I don't have access to the rules, sadly. My books should get here early February. Will I still be able to participate? Abso-goddamn-lutely. Abso-goddamn-lutely. Okay, so there's a couple of things I can recommend right off the bat. One of them is this gorgeous little app. Okay, just make sure Grindr isn't on there. Nope, we're good. New Recruit. Completely free. Pop this up. Hold on, let me put you on the big screen. Unless it's coming through okay on screen. Yeah, it's coming through okay on screen. We'll keep it there. And you're able to make army lists on here. So create a list. New list. done. Create a list. There you go, allegiance traitor, and you can just pop things in. And the great thing with this is, so let's create, okay, add a force, add a Lord of War. Let's just pop that in. Okay, so you pop this in, you can see like all the rules pop up in here anyway. And if you need to know, say what like Armor Bane does, click that, bang, it's up straight away. So I was able to make, well, at least a legal army with this stuff. So Black Shield, let's have a look at this. This is the army that I created. And the nice thing with this is when you export it, you can do, okay, let's do like 40k template. Boom, it's all there. All the information. Everything I need to know. I should probably go through my list as well. I think I did in the last one. But if you just want a list, export text, it's just there. And when you look at your list, oh, excuse me. Okay, so Praetor and Terminator armor, bang, it's there. Armor Bane Shred. What does Shred do? Okay, it's right there in plain English. So this really helped me. This really helped me create my first army list. But in your position, just think, what do I think a 1500 point army looks like? Write that down, submit it. I'm not going to check any of this stuff. I have too much stuff going on already. I'm not checking any of this stuff. Just write down what you think corresponds to a 1500 point list, what you'd be interested in collecting, what will be engaging for you to paint, and use that. I mean, this isn't like set in stone, these challenges. If you miss it by a couple of days, like I'm not going to come around your house and punch you in the back of the head. Just submit it late. We have the full itinerary up as well on here. Right, the Scouring era. So if you do manage to miss January, okay, just jump into February and do January. So all this month is just pledge a faction and write an army list. So if you don't manage to get it done now, bang, do it in February. Don't get February's done, bang, do it in March. Catch up. As long as you get something done by the end of the year and you post, what's more importantly, just let me know. Do a little post in the Discord anywhere. Just let me know that you're engaged throughout the year. But that would be my recommendation. There you go. Let's pop this up because that's too cool not to. Okay. Right. Hacks. I'm getting it done tonight. Tonight. Getting it done. Nice. I'm also thinking of going mortificators. Yeah, cool color scheme. I'm not exactly sure what official founding they are, but that bone and the black, oof. I know a couple of people are thinking about doing Scythes of the Emperor as well, largely inspired by the Astartes short. Just the drip on those guys. Yeah, they look great. And again, officially not second founding chapter. I don't think they're even third founding chapter. But Ajida Company was a secret company sequestered on one of the worlds of Ultramar, guarding the Pharos device. And the personal heraldry of the Praetor responsible for that facility was the cross scythes. So Ajida Company either became the size of the Emperor or they were very heavily inspired by the iconography of them. And okay, so we've had Size of the Emperor and we're talking about mortifactors. Great. Like a lot of the heresy community, I guess, are too hesitant to talk about their enjoyment or their love of 40k. This is how I got into the game, by playing 40k. It wasn't by playing heresy. For a lot of us, we still have really fond memories of these books and the kind of armies you can create. But we don't necessarily want to go back and play a dead game system. We want to play something contemporary. Well, the Scouring project, it's selfish for me because I want to collect Flesh Terrors. I want to collect that army. I want to collect an army like I remember it being in like this third edition. That kind of template that you have with the, I think even at the start of this book, it shows you like a sample army list. It would be, yeah, there we go. What's on here? A unit of Marines, unit of Terminators and character. Bang. In the opening page, gorgeous Ultramarine list. Gorgeous Ultramarine army, rather. I want to collect an army like that, like I remember them being. And I can indulge in the lore, especially the batshit crazy stuff of early Imperial lore. I can indulge in that a little bit. It's a little bit more freeing. The template hasn't been so set and constructed. And, you know, even at the outset of the Heresy, this wasn't like a Games Workshop driven thing. It was a fan community rule set at the beginning with very heavy fan engagement. It was community driven. And I miss those days. I miss those days of not feeling like I have to ask permission to Games Workshop to armour my Marines with Stormbolters or not. I want to be a little bit freer, and I want the people around me to be a little bit freer as well. Okay, Ashen Claws almost predate the Heresy itself. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, they're very, very heavily ensconced in the... It's crazy to think that they're still going strong in the 41st millennium as well. When you have... second founding chapters like the Flesh Terrors, very deeply established chapters on the edge of extinction. I mean, even the Blood Angels themselves on the edge of extinction. Okay, Jojo, perhaps we can help Jojo here, is stuck between a few different ideas. Black Consuls, Mentors, Celebrants, Invictors, or Minotaurs, Loyalist Iron Warriors. Okay, in the chat, what should Jojo do? Black Consuls, Mentors, Celebrants, Invictors, or Minotaurs? I dare say the Minotaurs are going to win because of how well fleshed out they are in the Badab War books. I think you should do Black Consuls. Let's bring them up, shall we? Black Consuls. Oh God, my search history is going to be like Black Dicks or something now. Black Consuls. Black Consuls, there we go, boom. Second founded primogenitor of the Ultramarines, and the ancient tome of knowledge known as the Mythos Angelica Mortis lists as one of the 20 chapters of Astartes founded to make up the Astartes Praeses, an ever-vigilant Space Marine task force assigned to guard the regions of the Imperium surrounding the Eye of Terror. Okay, that's engaging already. With a few of the Ultramarine successor chapters, the lore can be quite boring, because it often devolves down into, oh, they are like Ultramarines, just more so, just even more Ultramarine-y. Okay, known as the least compromising of the Jesus, here we go. And brooking no deviation from the tenets laid down by the Sacred Codex Astartes. Fuck. It was going so well. It was going so well up until that point. I think the Marines Errant also have a very similar lore. That they are the Nova Marines. One of them is like they are the most Ultramarine of Ultramarine. Okay. Recorded having been annihilated at the Siege of Godeth Hive. Okay. By elements of Wordbearers and Iron Warriors. Okay. Individual officers. Let's see if there's any Scouring era stuff. I mean, that's just a gorgeous scheme. Black and gold. I'm a big lover of black and gold. For anybody who knows me, I'm a big lover of black and gold. Okay, the Black Consuls originally this 72nd chapter of the Ultramarines Legion, and was founded on their first chapter Master Arius Cordos, a veteran of both the Great Crusade and subsequent days of the Horus Heresy. Cordos survived the desperate battles of the Horus Heresy and the Great Scouring, and went on to become the first chapter master of the newly created Black Consuls, following their inception during the second founding. During one of the chapter's first campaigns, Cordos led his chapter to victory in the Obstar system against the hated traitor forces of the Wordbearer Legion. Perhaps you can theme your army on this conflict and have your Praetor being Cordos. What's his name? Cordos something. Mr. Cordos. Why not style it on this? And he earned the accolade Bane of Lorgar. Ooh. Oh, right. Okay, so following his death, Cordos' power axe, Lorgar's Bane. Oh, my God. The army list writes itself. Became a treasured relic of the Black Consuls. Okay, so you got a badass Praetor with a power axe, Lorgar's Bane. Oof. I mean, it could even be inscribed with some kind of Grey Knight symbology on there. Lorgar, it feels like there's a little bit more to that story. This here, then we can go underneath the surface here. Why was it so effective against word bearers? Was it like an athame? Was it a null weapon of some kind? So there's a concept you can play with there. Right, okay. It goes on to, they go on regular. Okay, so that's, I mean, even with that small snippet there, you can build from there. That's a really, really cool piece of lore. Okay, great. Yeah, so that would be my choice. But what do other people think? Okay, you're the best. Cheers, dude. I am the best. I'm very big on building thematic armies. Appreciated from a fellow Welshman. Ah, Yachida. Okay, the weirdness to discuss 40k is because 40k force 40k become, even the models. Yes, okay, yeah, okay, great point, yeah. I don't want to get into female custodies. I really don't want that discussion, but a lot of people don't like modern 40k lore. I'm not a big fan of Primaris. I like the miniatures. I wouldn't go as far to say as I love them. I like the miniatures. I wish that they just went through a in-beginning. Okay, I want to show you something. Let's go on here, go here, picture, bang. So I'm up on the screen. Oh, let me drag myself down. Ah, there I am. Okay, I want to show you something. So I've been doing some conversion work for the past couple of days for some Chaos Terminators for my Black Legion. I know, I'm flitting around like a butterfly. So this uses the Indomitus Terminator set, the plastic Terminator set, with some parts 3D printed. The sculptor was DMS. The problem is you can no longer get this kit. I know he's got letters. I've asked him if it is available anywhere expressly. He has told me no, it is not anywhere. It's been completely purged from his site. You can't get this anywhere, unfortunately, because they go together like an absolute dream and they fit together so beautifully. But look at the characterization of this thing. Look how gorgeous this thing is. The new miniatures are very, very good. I really, really like the new miniatures of 40k. You have these new Reavers, the Emperor's Children refresh, the some of the Night Lords miniatures upgrade sets we've been getting. The Indomitus Terminators. I've been doing quite a lot. Sorry, the cause is coming up. I don't like this miniature. I'm not a big fan of what they've done with the cloak of this miniature. But I do like the miniatures. I like the lore, I like the history of 40k. It's a very engaging universe that was created. Some of the newer stuff might not be to my taste or your taste. There are elements of it I do quite like. That's by the by. How am I doing with my, yeah, that's fine. That's by the by. You know, but the models, more often than not, absolute fire. And this gives us the excuse to get a big box of tricks. You got a big, massive box of tricks like this. So when I start a new project, this is how I do it. I go on a little bit of an asset strip of my previous jobs. So I've got this Blood Angel Terminator. I don't know whether I'm going to use it. A Rhino from a previous project that, again, I'm never going to paint. A bunch of very classic Blood Angel bits and pieces. Awesome. Can't use them in other projects. Can't use them in Heresy. I can use them here. And what I've been wanting to do with this project is to create Terminators using some of these 3D printed parts and designs. Let's see whether I got any here to show you. Okay, now these are available. I'm happy to say these bits I'm going to show you are available. I don't need to keep them under a veil of secrecy. This is all my 3D printed bits. Here, let's zoom in. Boom! Okay, so we got an Indominus Terminator leg, and we're going to take one of our, do I have, yeah, there we go. Oh no, that's a Chaos one. No. Okay, great. So one of our Shin Gods. I can just pop it straight on there. Look, fits like an absolute glove. Fits like an absolute glove. So I believe this kit was done by Red Warden. Give me a second to look this up so I can credit the creator properly. I believe this is still available. And it is worth every single penny. Where are you? Oh, this is going to be a bit of dead air here. Sorry, guys. Oh, no. I believe it's Red Warden. Yeah, Red Warden. Okay. If I get that wrong, please pop in the comments. I'll credit the creator correctly. Oh, we got some feedback on what people... Okay, let me put something more interesting than just like a flat screen. Let me put this guy up here. Look what you can't get. Oh, look how frustrating that is. Yeah, let me put a leg up on a flesh terror bit and this. And let's read your comments as well as I'm going to glue this together then. Come on, zoom. There we go. Okay. What have we got? Who have we got for Minotaurs? Go full on Spartan. Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard to argue with that. I was thinking about that for sure. They seem to have the potential of being known as more brutal, even by the Astartes standards. Yeah, and that bronzish gold that you can paint as well just can look phenomenal. Just kind of wondering, painting just black will be fun. Yeah, that is one of the drawbacks of an all black army. It isn't super fun. It is not super fun at all. But this project, oh, look at that. Some of the casting marks I've made on here. So when you get like these huge things, I can very quickly, Tamiya putty, basic type. The best, never mind liquid green stuff. That stuff has a picture of this on the wall, wishing. Green stuff wishes it was this. A little bit gap filling. What should Jojo collect? My vote is for black consoles, even though you are just painting black armor constantly. We've had a couple of votes for Minotaurs. So I've painted this over the top with some Tamiya extra thin cement. Then when that dries, that'll dry rock hard. I can file over the top. And then I'm going to be able to glue that straight in. But my idea with this army, and the idea with that command squad is 5 assault terminators. You know, even just having to look through the kit, they're so nice and like the larger size. And it reminds me of painting Terminators as a kid. These miniatures look as good as the miniatures I remember being. You know, the static miniatures you have like that. I saw them like this. These new miniatures, absolutely phenomenal. And this gives me an excuse to use them in this universe. And also an excuse to wear the white armor is an instant win for me. Okay. Yeah, apparently mortifactors are a second founding, which surprised me. Oh, it could be pretty interesting, showing that the slow decline of worship of death. Yeah. Yeah, so the mortifactors are the Ultramarines. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look. It feels like this is what this session's becoming, kind of like, ooh, look at this. Ooh, look at that. Let's change this over to this one. Okay, mortifactors. Ooh, okay, we're going to come in with a quote. We are the skyborn, the angels macabre, the death that strikes from above. We cut the life cords of our foes, even before they realize the mortal danger they're in. Bit wordy. We are the storm incarnate, and we will not be denied. Don't want to use that on a night out. I mean, no means no. Captain Hugandes. Hugandes, that's such a cool name. Hugandes. Okay. Okay, most factors, loyalists, ultramarines. Okay, recruited from the austere feral world of Postal, where the sun never rises. Oh God, it feels like Wales. I haven't seen the sun today. I had the day off today, a rare day off. I was at IKEA with the kids. I drove over there, and it was grey skies blanketed in rain. When I arrived in IKEA, of course I was inside, so I didn't get to see the sun. When I was driving back home, leaden grey skies, carpeted with rain. I have not seen I can't remember the last time I saw the sun. That's this world. Okay. Population of nomadic tribes, constantly in conflict with one another, practice cannibalism. Fuck yeah. Okay. Vote what? Okay, who's doing mortifactors? What models would you use for mortifactors? Because I know there's like some 3D prints out there, but how do you style them? Because you don't want them too much in the death worship kind of thing. Perhaps you could reflect it in some of the war gear, that they use more destroyer type weaponry. Yeah, okay. Right. Anything scouring specific with this? Jesus Christ, we've got 27 people viewing. Hello, everyone. Okay, if you are viewing, pop down below. What second founding chapter that you would potentially collect in this project, in the Scouring era? We're having a great time here, having a little flick through. Just checking out Wikipedia with my friends, it feels like. I'm going to keep the comments up alongside. Right, right, what have we got? Descended from lineage, okay. An Ultramarines captain named Sasebo Tezuka. Have I got that right? Sasebo Tezuka. What? Where does that name come from? Any images of him? It's really nice. Oh my god. Yes. Dude, he's used like bone fractures in there. Oh, that's so good. Mortifactors Contemptor, Nameless Death. Oh, that's what you can do, my friend. What a great project this is. Use the Night Lords range. Just straight up use Night Lords. Okay, who is this? Let's credit them. This is Heresy and Heroes. And this was written in 2015. We're exhuming the dead. Holy shit, that's such a great idea. Okay. Somebody should steal that. Okay, this black is like a slight hint of purple to it. That's quite nice. Perhaps you can do, for the black console player, don't paint them black. Maybe paint them a very deep purple instead. Because again, the iconography hasn't really settled behind these behind these chapters right now. For my own project, I want to, on the left shoulder pad, have like a hand-painted angel on each and every single shoulder pad. Now, I'm not mental. I'm not free styling all these. Oh, God, this cause is getting to me. I'm getting a sculptor to make the design for me. But the idea is so traumatized from the Siege of Terror that they keep painting the wounds of Sanguinius on themselves. And they keep physically marking themselves, thus flesh tearers. But there's a recurring icon, icon that they keep painting over and over and over again. It's this slain angel. Let me show you. Well, I've got the. Has somebody put 3,500 on here? Yeah. Oh my God, Dan, 3,500. You're blowing us all out the water. So this is my idea, and I'll be fleshing out this document a little bit more with a full, I guess, like project brief. But I've always loved this image of the banner of Sanguinius. And this is the idea I've had, that these legionnaires keep painting this image, even when they don't refer to each other, even if they haven't seen it before, like new neophytes implanted with gene seed, brought up to legionnaire status. They keep painting this image frantically over and over again. And that's why I want as the chapter iconography of my proto-flesh terrors. So perhaps you could do a similar thing with your black consoles. If you don't want to just paint them all black, make them purple instead. Okay. What else are we saying? Yeah, apparently the Mortifactors are second founding. Also my excuse to wear the white armor. Yeah, instant win for me. Feels like a kind of bad to not have a 3D printer. GW upgrade kits cost too much. Okay, right now, my honest opinion on all 3D printers, unless you have a dedicated space for it outside of your house, do not get one. They are way too toxic. It is. I'm rather fortunate I have this big office around me. It's ridiculous how saturated with resin the area it occupies gets. And I see these adverts, they're really fucking misleading. I remember this girl woke up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and she goes into the room, and her husband or partner, like he's disturbed, like, oh, I'm going to nip off and do some 3D printing as well. And they do a little bit on the computer. He comes out, they chip away. There's a plant next to them, because it's wholesome, it's healthy. Bullshit. Everything around the area of my 3D printer is resin, absolutely fucking everywhere. Do not, and it's taken me about 2 years to get competent. I wouldn't say good, I'd say competent at producing 3D sculpts. Sorry, printing 3D sculpts, I should say. I'm not producing them, printing 3D sculpts. Until it becomes idiot-proof, where you aren't touching any toxic materials, 3D printing is simply not worth it for the average consumer. It's just simply not. Get some other sucker to print them for you. Right. Kinda with you on black consoles. I like these second founding chapters that don't have much like heat behind them. Somebody's doing Doom Eagles in our challenge. I love that idea. When you're flicking through what time is it? Oh God, we're up on an hour already. I'm going to stay with you. I don't care. I'm going to stay. I like this conversation too much. When you flick it, for me, it was the second edition Ultramarines Codex. I remember seeing this 12-year-old me buying this, my first army book. Well, my mother bought it for me. I remember saying, she was a bit miffed. It cost £12. I remember these words leaving my mouth. This is the only book I'll need. I kind of knew it was a lie at that point. But you're flicking through that book and you come with the alternate color schemes. Black consoles. Oh, it's one of them Doom Eagles. Mentors. Mentors is quite a good one. What was it? Nova Marines Errant, any like quartered or halved schemes. And this is a 1,500 point list. Why not do halved? Yeah, this mort factor is absolute fire. Okay, let's see if we can drag any tidbits of information at you. Sabezo Tezuka has been given command of the newly created mort factors. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to trip over that. Chapter Master led during the... and led it using the Emperor's Tarot for guidance to the dark, frigid world of Posel. Okay, there's a streak of mysticism in these guys. Oh, that seems so odd that they'd use the Tarot, such like a straight up and down legion as the Ultramarines. And he'd put somebody in charge who used the Emperor Tarot. Oh, I mean, the Ultramarines, they are well known for folding in other... Well, it's rumoured that they folded in elements of the 2nd and 11th Legions. That's why they're so big. And we know at this time a lot of compromises were made. I mean, the Crimson Fists, for example... in conversations we've been having in the Discord. Join the Discord. It's brilliant at the moment, unearthing all of these theories. But we've been talking about the relationship between Dantioch and Pollux and what happened to the Legionnaires serving under Dantioch. It's not a stretch of the imagination to believe that they were folded into the Imperial Fists as a successor chapter. Maybe under the hegemony of Pollux and the Crimson Fists. How about for the Mortifactors? They did a similar thing with a renegade legion of 1,000 Suns. I think they're just slightly too arcane, and then when the Rubric of Ahriman happens, they'd all be wiped out. How about if they were word bearers? Or even they have like pale skin and black eyes, maybe Night Lords, because they have that streak of mysticism through them. Oh, this is why I love this project so much. Fuck yes. Okay. Tezuka, which is Tezuka Asian flavor? Because I know a lot of the Night Lord's iconography is sort of more Asian, very big generalization here, but sort of like Japan, China, that portion of the world formed. Right. Yeah, maybe. Okay. On the feast day of the Emperor's Ascension, the entire chapter initiated a mass meditation ritual. Maybe blood angels, because they do indulge in... Yeah, maybe these guys are a fusion, a chimera, a chimeric element of blood angels and ultramarines. There's something not quite right about it. They aren't straight up ultramarines, let's put it that way. There's something dodgy about these guys. On the feast day of the Emperor's Ascension, the entire chapter initiated a mass meditation ritual. When they returned to awareness, they collectively prophesied their meditative visions that the third war for Armageddon. Okay. Yeah, these guys are Night Lords, aren't they? They're a faction of Night Lords folded into the Ultramarines. Oh, my man, you must do this. If you aren't doing it, I am doing this. Okay, real question is how to lean into a Raptor feeling with the black consoles without just looking like Raven Guard. Yeah, shit, good point. Oh, Jojo, leave that with me. Oh, shoot. Bash my camera. Let's make sure it's still working. Yeah, we're still good. We're still golden. Oh, God. Pop in the Discord and ask that question. That's something I'll need to mull over the next few days. That's not something like initially... My initial thought is just use... don't use any Raven Guard upgrades. But then they'll end up like being a very boring army. But I guess they are the most Codex compliant chapter that there ever was, maybe. Right. Indeed, dude. Right, who's this? Ultramarines, indeed. Indeed, dude. I'm from Newport. Oh, yo, what's happening? It's pretty much the real-life equivalent of a Death World. Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, I mean, I was born in Merthyr. I was born and raised in Merthyr. You want to trade stories about being on Death Worlds? I got some scars to show you. Okay. So I have a lot of Ultramarine Forge World bits. I think I'm going to use those bits, scrape away anything Ultramarine and edgelord them up a bit. Ooh, if you've got those bits, it would pain me to see you scrape all the Ultramarine iconography. You know, why not buy more? But Forge World is becoming far more rarer today. Everything has come out in plastic. I would hold on to those as kind of like the same way you'd invest in Edition 1 Pokemon cards. I'd invest in Forge World now, especially the Primarch miniatures. I'm buying up the rest now. I don't think they're going to be around for that long. Oh, God. It's a city in Japan, you kidding me? Tezuka or Sabozo? Which one's the city in Japan? Okay, Night Lords part's a good shout. Yeah, you're telling me, right? Night Lords. I'm thinking Night Lords for them. Yeah, they're the first Black Legion book. Who? The Mortefactors. Those would be Fallen. Aren't Fallen like 4 to 7 dudes and not company size? Oh, yeah. I guess... So at this time, I mean, the Fallen are really tricky to do. I don't think anybody's pledged to them. I guess there'd be a lot more Falling at this time during the Scouring era because they'd be under the sway of Luther. And you got to think, there's a story where Leman Russ is fleeing from the Alpha Legion and into a nebula, and he comes across something like 10,000 Dark Angels. Who the fuck are they? What are they doing there? I think there is scope to do a much larger Unforgiven army at this stage in Imperial history than any other time. But yeah, you're right. Most cases, they are more outsider, desperado-like figures. How many people do we have watching this? Let's have a look, see. 21. Oh, we're dropping off. It's falling like a stone. Right. The only issue with Mortefactors is the paint scheme might be hard to pull off over an entire army. We're only doing 1,500 points, remember. We're only doing 1,500 points. Now let's look at my boys. I guess the Flesh Terrors. Let's have a look at my boys, the Flesh Terrors. Anything interesting? You foster discord, Seth. You thrive upon it. The Flesh Terror smiled. I stand corrected. You do understand my kind offer after all. You've cut to the heart of me. That's like a badass and brutal that is. That is a badass symbol. Right. Let's have a look at early chapter history. Oh, okay. Flesh Terrors. Okay, only in death does duty end. Oh wow, he was the guy who said that. Okay. Right, Flesh Terrors chapter was created in the early 31st millennium after the Primarch of the Ultramarines, Robuta Gilliman, who led the Reformation, the sweeping of the Imperial Man, Horus Brother, Time of Rebirth, Lord Commander. This was no single military commander could ever again wield the dangerous power of an entire Astartes Legion. This event is known as the Second Founding. Flesh Terrors, one of the chapters, formed the Blood Angel Legion. Yep. When the Flesh Terrors chapter was brought into being during the Second Founding, Captain Nasir Ahmet, the commander of the Blood Angels 5th Company, was chosen as the chapter master. The reputation was the most bloodthirsty. More than once, the 5th Company had been called to censure. Ooh, oh God, I mean, look how good that looks. Firstborn Marines. Marines in, I guess, Horus Heresy style armor, but with these classic color schemes applied to them. I can't wait to see how people are going to be doing Black Templars with this. And if they do decide to use Sigismund in their armies, how are they going to make him look old as shit? Oh God, I've got ideas for Seth. I have ideas for Seth already. I want him this huge hulking Terminator plate. But I think there's something there. He was an outspoken officer with the name the Flesh Terror when served in the he served in the gladiatorial pits of the World Eater Legion alongside his oath brother Khan. Right after that, official formation immediately left Terra to embark upon a new crusade to eliminate traitor forces still loyal to the War Master Horus. Yeah, that's what we talked about right at the beginning. I mean, it's not necessarily a good thing that you have this all-consuming, vengeance-driven force to completely sweep clean the universe. Compromises need to be made, especially in this time where the Imperium is so vulnerable. They're constantly on crusade, destroying heretics whose paths they crossed. Okay, so this will be a fleet-based chapter. Some rumors circulated their brutality going as far as to reach the High Lords of Terror. Yeah, I love this concept. How you have these factions who are nominally loyal to the throne, but just committing all sorts of horrific war crimes out there. And the real question of this time, the anxiety of this time is, even if a High Lord of Terror or the authorities of Terror tried to drag them back, make sure I'm still, yeah, even if they wanted to recall them, could they? Over time, the Flesh Terrors continue to earn their reputation for savagery. Yep, and they are violent. Yeah, they are the mental lads. I mean, I just want to look at this image. Oh, so good. So good. I'm going to look at this while the green glowing eye lenses. I'm going to look at our chat. Okay, feel like word bearers who put faith in the heart of the cards. Yeah. I draw Pot of Greed. Okay, so Bezo, big US Navy base, really? Huh, I wonder if there's something there. Flesh Terrors looks so good. Hard to beat the red and black combo. Yeah, okay, I'm going to throw it out to the chat. We're going to do one more second founding chapter. We're going to have a little bit of a lore exploration. We're going to talk about what kind of things you can do with them modeling-wise. Jojo, got any more? The Celebrants? I've never really heard of them. What are the other selections? Okay, I'm going to leave it up to the chat. Whoever replies first gets to win. Yo, ho, hiya, Mike. Okay, perfect, Mike. You're coming in late, but you're coming in hot. We've been looking at second founding chapters. Looking at, we came across the mortifactors. We've decided they aren't Ultramarines at all. They are Night Lords folded back into a chapter. Okay, so Mike, which second founding chapter should we look at next to finish off the show, finish off the segment? Black Templars, Doom. Oh, I don't want to do Black Templars. Who else have we got? Any pointers towards an official scheme for Viridian consoles? Oh my god, they look batshit crazy. I have no idea right now. None. I'll pop it into the Discord. If you want to find a link to the Discord, by the way, type into Google. In fact, we could do it live. We could do it absolutely live. Little legend. Scouring. Bang. There you go. Scouring Eras. This one's the very first thing that pops up. And on here, oh, this is behind the scenes, but you won't get this kind of page. Down at the bottom, you will have a PDF. And within here, you will have links to the Discord. Here. Join the Discord, completely free. Don't need to sign up for anything. Completely and utterly free. Pop in the Discord and we'll get discussion going there. But right now, I have no idea. Flesh Terrors, no question. Amit is the best. We've just Flesh Terrors. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing for this one. Nemesis chapter. Okay, I think we have a winner there. Nemesis chapter. Should we have a look at them? What was the other suggestion? I did see another one. Doom Eagles. Oh, let's do Doom Eagles. Yes. Doom Eagles. If they're boring, we'll do Nemesis chapter. Okay, without knowing anything about these guys, they are an Ultramarine successor chapter. I bet you in the lore that they are stringent adherents to the Codex Astartes, and they take umbrage with other factions that don't follow it to the letter of the law. Let's have a look. Okay, the homeworld of Doom Eagles is Gathis 2. I wonder what Gathis 1 is like. Atop Ghost Mountain, that's fucking rad. Atop Ghost Mountain, come on. That's the world's largest peak sits the mighty fortress monastery, the Eyrie. Okay. Right, Mike says, I'm doing Amit and some Flesh Terrors. What idea do you have for modelling Amit? I'm thinking about using the Torgaradon, the Imperial Fist character from Forge World, and overlaying sort of like chapter symbols on top of him, because he has the bulk. I want Amit to be big. Either that, or maybe looking at one of the new characters from 40k. Like, do you have any ideas for how you're going to be modelling Amit? Because I couldn't stand if you did one that was better than mine. No. I'll kick you out of the challenge. Okay. Doom Eagles. Emphasize the use of stealth tactics. Ooh, okay. Speed in combat. At a basic level, all Doom Eagles ultimately accept inevitability of their own deaths in service of the Emperor of Mankind. Okay, I like this. A bit of a death cult going on. They embrace the freedom this offers to fight all the harder in the Emperor's name. This is the root of their courage and the unshakable resolution of determination to stand in the face of the greatest odds. Okay, this reminds me a little bit of the the spears of the Emperor. How when their initiates become Marines, that their tribes people think of them as dead, and they see themselves as passing into another life. So perhaps this ideology can thread through the Doom Eagles. How when they ascend, they die. I mean, that might be an interesting concept to look at. I'm thinking initially like lots of shrouds to represent their death and passing into another life. Skull iconography on the heads, like the bird symbols. Okay, they're almost impossible to deter from doing their duty, and they're dour, grim, depressive lot. A pate staunchly loyal to the Imperial. I know people like this. Okay. How to represent this in the rules. Okay, there's one of the Black Shield rules that when you take like a pinning check, you don't run backwards. You can determine where you run to. So I think that would be appropriate for this. Doom Eagles, notoriously pious, grim, and aloof. Okay, I like these guys. However, unlike Ultramarines, their use of dreadnoughts is more extensive. Okay, right. So that's a really nice army building point right there, fitting their belief that they are fighting while already dead. Look at that. Yes, my English degree is finally coming into some use. They're expert proponents of spearhead attacks, mass jump assault. Okay, so this army, we have dreadnoughts, a bunch of different assault marines, and at the beginning of this, in the challenge, we do say try not to double up. In this case, double up. These rules that we've initiated are only ever a guideline. Rip them up, disregard them, throw them in the bin. With something like this, I would be taking multiple dreadnoughts, multiple assault, and maybe you could break it up. Do they still have Lacuturus? You could bait, yeah. Okay, there's room to play here. There's room to play here. Any early chapter history lore? I like this, all this silver and the black. It's such a cool scheme. One of the chapters directly created by Rabute Gulliman. August Group includes some of the most well-known and celebrated chapters ever thought in humanity's name. As he created the chapter, the Primarch appointed Captain Tullian Aquila. Oh, he's an Ultramarine through and through. I thought there might have been some room to maybe say they were one of the Raven Guard forces that were discarded by Corax when he took over the Legion. But no, these guys, a guy named Tullian Aquila, he may as well be called Ultramarius Ultramar, of the 24th Extium, as chapter master. The chapter operated as part of the 13th Legion Strategic Reserve and featured a considerably above strength contingent of dedicated support ordnance, mobile artillery systems, and munitions train. Okay, great. He was a veteran of Great Crusade and Horus Heresy, served as sergeant in the Battle of Calth. Oh, okay. Stationed alongside his company in the city of Ithaca. Okay. When the traitorous wordbearers struck, newly founded Doom Eagles quickly embraced the chapter master's sense of fatalism. Okay, and it came to accept death was inevitable, and that every mission performed on behalf of the Emperor must be pursued in both fervor and zeal in defense of the Imperium and his people. Okay. Okay, they were gifted the storm-racked feral world of Gathis II by the High Lords of Terror as they demence. It is here every 13 Terran years where they recruit potential aspirants from the hardy people of the planet's primitive human tribes. Okay, 13th probably because it's the 13th Legion. You can maybe build something around the number 13, like some kind of totemic meaning behind them. Located in the Razor Peaks mounting range, the Doom Eagles built a fortress monastery, the Eyrie, upon the tallest peak. Ghost mounting, that's badass. That is badass. People's superstitions and beliefs as haunted spirits of the dead. Service in the Jericho Reach. Oh, okay, there's more stuff here. Okay, there's some decent lore here. I'm going to leave this up on screen because that is a badass piece of artwork. Are those the Doom Eagles? Oh, the shit me, they are the Doom Eagles. Wow. Okay, cool piece of artwork. Right, back to the chat. What were we all saying? Just got Doom Eagles transfers yesterday for the project. Great choice. Did you know about this stuff beforehand? That's a great choice. Mike said, I've shaved the devil off some Ashen Circle. Nice and bulky, great movement, extra armor plates. They're taller than the new scale once you've removed the sunken head and add a helmet on top. For Amit. Oh, right, you're doing... yes. Yeah. Okay. So part of this project, you'll like this, Mike, is that we want to do a before and after version of a character. So before the Scouring, during the Horus Heresy, and then during the Scouring. So some of the artwork for Amit, perhaps you could do like a collaboration on this. You could do before, I'll do after. Some of the artwork I've seen of him is he has this huge Hulk in Indomitus plate. Indomitus plate with these like chain fists with cannons on top of them. It looks rad, absolutely rad. The before version of him, I've gone quite lazy with it. I've used Tybalt Mar as the character, like that Praetor striding forward, and I've printed off a couple of Flesh Terror bits for it. So it's going to be like a really lazy, laconic conversion in comparison to yours. Emo Marines. All right, I think that's a really good place to leave it. This was fun. Should we do this again? I don't think I'll be here next week. I'm running a conversion course next week. But let's do this again. Let's do some more second founding chapters. Let's go through their lore. Let's discuss how you can represent them on the tabletop. And if you have any rules, injections, please help me with that. I can help you with the lore, the collecting, the rules, the bits and everything. But when it comes to the rules, I'm useless. I'm useless as a pre-evolved Magikarp. All right. Join the Discord. Join the community. Jump on this thing. Enter what you'll be doing for this. We've had a new sign up. Redacted Inquisition Astartes. Brian, my man. Join in the challenge. Join in the fun. 2026. Let's make 2026 the year of the Scouring. Thank you very much.